My son, my daughter, listen carefully to every word that comes from my mouth at this moment. This is not just another ordinary time in your life. This is not just another season. What I am doing now carries eternal weight, a deep purpose, something that goes beyond you. It reaches the generations that came before you and the ones that will come after you. I am positioning you as a point of transition in your lineage, a turning point, a milestone, because I, the Lord, am breaking ancient spiritual cycles that operated in your family like silent but destructive chains. Chains that for years bound destinies, extinguished dreams, stole peace, and established repetitive patterns of pain, sickness, poverty, humiliation, family conflict, abandonment, idolatry, rejection, and fear. But today I tell you, those cycles are being confronted by my power. They are being uprooted. They are being deactivated by the anointing upon you. You were not the first to feel that something wasn't right. Others before you also sensed something strange, the repetitions, the similar downfalls, the doors that never opened, the marriages that always fell apart, the illnesses that reappeared generation after generation. But none of them had the strength or the revelation to break it. You were chosen, set apart, prepared. You were marked with the courage that only my Spirit can give. Because what no one else confronted, you are confronting. What everyone accepted as normal, you reject. What seemed like a family tradition, you discern as spiritual traps because I opened your eyes. And now that you see, you can no longer ignore it. Because truth sets you free, and once free, you cannot live as a slave again. I am removing deep-rooted structures in your family tree. I am going where no one dared to pray. I am lighting up dark rooms where ancient voices still repeated curses. I'm stirring up abandoned grounds that still held seeds of destruction. I'm tearing down hidden pacts, promises made in ignorance, words spoken in pain that sealed destinies. I'm the Lord who searches to the bone. I'm the one who visits the root, not to accuse but to restore. I have not come to bring shame but deliverance. I have not come to expose but to cover with my blood what needed to be cleansed. My child, there are pains that didn't begin with you, but they reached you. There are tears your eyes cried for battles that weren't even yours, but they fell upon you like invisible inheritances. There are sicknesses that tried to dwell in your body because no one before you closed the spiritual doors that were opened. But now, I am closing access points. I am sealing breaches. I am purifying contaminated sources. I am establishing a new spiritual milestone. Because what begins with you will no longer be a continuation of what was, but the birth of what I always dreamed. A new cycle, a new story, a new name, a new sound echoing in your house. Yes, I know you've been fighting in silence. I know you've questioned why it feels so hard to break through, why the burden is so heavy, why resistance seems stronger than in others. And now I answer you. Because you're fighting battles that did not start with you, but they will end with you. You are the wall between yesterday and tomorrow. You are the last link of an old chain and the first brick of a new construction. That's why there's so much warfare, so much confrontation. That's why hell raises its voice against you with greater intensity. But listen, you are not alone in this battle. I'm with you as a mighty warrior. I'm your shield and your sword. I'm your refuge and your strength. And I say, do not retreat. Every step you take is releasing freedom for many. I am placing spiritual keys in your hands. With them, you are closing doors of shame, failure, misery, and abandonment. And with those keys, you are opening doors of healing, reconciliation, holiness, prosperity, identity, and honor. Because I raise you as a spokesperson of heaven in your generation. You are a visible sign of what is possible when someone obeys me. You are an answer to the prayers of your ancestors who cried out for freedom but didn't live to see it. You are the fulfillment of ancient promises. That's why I am restoring even what seemed lost in time. I am bringing back what was stolen. I am rewarding with glory what was watered with tears. My child, there will be moments when it seems like you are regressing, that old patterns are returning, that old temptations surround you. But understand that is not a sign of defeat. It is the sign of the final confrontation. The enemy is attempting one last attack because he knows his time is over. Do not fear. Stand firm. Do not give in to the lie that nothing has changed, because everything has already begun to change in the spiritual realm. What I'm doing in your lineage will not be erased. I'm sealing it with my seal, and what I seal, no one can break. I'm declaring an end where there was a continuation of pain. I'm saying enough where there was once silence, and my voice is final. Do you know why you are still standing? Because I sustain you. Even when everything in you wanted to give up, my spirit held you up. Even when your soul was filled with doubts, I renewed you. Now lift your head, because you are being established as a reference point. Your children will look at you and know there is a God who transforms. Your grandchildren will tell your story as an example of faith and courage. Your lineage will be known as a holy lineage, because what began in pain will end in honor. What seemed like death is now blooming into life. This is not just about you, it's about everyone who will come after you. It's about those who watch you in silence. It's about those who think it's already too late. I've made you a bridge, a new path, a visible example of redemption. And everything I do in you will be like a banner lifted high for those who think there is no way out. I'm raising your house as a house of healing, your table as a table of reconciliation, your story as a living testimony. Because I am the God who turns curses into blessings, who takes what is in ruins and turns it into a dwelling place, who takes the rejected and anoints them with authority. But listen carefully, because what I am building in you requires firmness. This is not the time to look back. This is not the time to compare your journey to that of others. What I am doing is something completely new. It has no human reference, no precedent, no mirror, no earthly model. It is being molded by my hands, and what is molded by me carries my mark. Even if others don't understand it, even if there are no applause or recognition, even if your path is lonely for a time, do not doubt. I am there, in the valley, in the midnight hour, in the invisible battle. I remain with you. Stay the course, even if the process hurts. Even if the losses are real, even if you don't understand everything, because faithfulness to my voice is more powerful than any explanation. And what you are building now will be remembered for generations. I am washing your name, I am healing your identity, I am giving you a new sound, a new step, a new purpose. And I declare, the old cycle will never return. The chain is broken, the shackle is shattered, the prison is open, and you, my child, you were set free to set others free. And listen, there will be days when hell will try to make you forget who you are. It will try to make you believe you are going back. But in those moments, bring your mind back to what I promised you. Declare with your lips what I have already done. Use the authority I gave you. Because I did not call you to survive. I called you to reign. I did not anoint you to run away. I anointed you to take territory. I did not choose you to hide your story, but to use your story as a tool of salvation for many. Your pain will be a bridge of healing. Your battle will be a seed of deliverance. Your victory will be a beacon for those still walking in darkness. So continue, do not give up, do not step back, because this is no longer just your battle. It is a war won in my name. You are stepping where your parents never stepped. You are sowing where there was only desert. You are reaping what others dreamed of but never reached. And you are opening new paths so others can walk more freely because you chose to obey me. Rejoice, my child, because the new is not coming, it has already begun, and there is no curse, plague, pact, or word that can stop what I have already released. This is the hour, this is the moment, and you are the ground where I establish my will. Everything is being restored, everything is being made new, and what ends here ends forever, but what begins now begins with glory. And now, my child, since I have begun this work in you, I must teach you how to walk with the weight of glory I've placed upon your shoulders. You must learn the rhythm of obedience, not just in moments of fire, but in the stillness of the day-to-day. Because the true measure of transformation is not how high you soar in moments of breakthrough, but how steady you remain when the skies are quiet and no one sees. You must understand that the authority I've given you requires stewardship. Do not let your hands grow careless or your discernment dull. What I've entrusted to you can build nations or allow them to crumble if you forget its purpose. Speak with intention, move with clarity. Let your heart remain pierced by my presence so you never drift into your own strength. There are people whose healing is tied to your persistence. Their deliverance will not come from elsewhere because I designed their turning point to pass through your compassion, your story, your willingness to walk slowly with those who limp through the shadows you once escaped. Do not overlook them. Do not despise small doors. They often open into large rooms. In this next chapter, I'm calling you to learn the difference between being seen and being significant. Do not chase exposure. Do not be enticed by platforms or applause. Influence without my presence is empty. You are not here to echo the noise of the world, but to become a distinct sound, one that cuts through confusion and awakens what has been asleep in others. I will take you into uncomfortable places, not to harm you, but to build the kind of trust that doesn't shake under pressure. There will be moments when my instructions will not make sense to your logic, but I never asked you to understand, only to follow. And in your obedience, I will show you mysteries that are hidden from those who demand answers before they act. Be prepared for the refinement of your motives. I will place you in positions where the true condition of your heart will be revealed, not to shame you, but to purify you. Jealousy, comparison, hidden pride, bitterness masked as caution. These will rise to the surface when you least expect, but when they do not run. Let me burn them away. I will teach you how to listen, not just for direction, but for my tone. My voice is not always loud. Sometimes it is a stillness that arrests your steps. Sometimes it is a gentle discomfort that tells you not to proceed. Learn to hear me when I whisper. Learn to stop even when your mind says go, because in stillness I will protect you from unnecessary battles. You must let me discipline your thoughts. The battle you're in is not only external, much of it is fought in the realm of the mind. You cannot afford to entertain every thought that passes through your heart. I will teach you to discern the difference between imagination and revelation, between fear dressed as wisdom and faith dressed in risk. I am calling you into a season of pruning, not punishment, but preparation. I will remove some things that once felt necessary. I will strip away attachments that do not belong to your destiny. You may feel the void, but it is only because I am making space for what carries eternal substance. Do not mourn what I remove. Rejoice that I saw it before it entangled you. There will be relationships I will ask you to release, not out of arrogance, but for preservation. Some people cannot walk where I am taking you, not because they are evil, but because they are bound to cycles you are no longer part of. Love them, bless them, but obey me. You cannot carry everyone across the river of transition. Some must find their own path. I will test your humility, not through humiliation, but through opportunity. I will elevate you when no one expects it. I will open doors that others believe should not be yours. In those moments, do not allow entitlement to speak. Remember who you were when I found you. Let your success become worship, not arrogance. Let your favor point back to me. My child, you will encounter voices that sound spiritual, but they do not carry my breath. Not every prophetic word comes from my throne. You must remain anchored in what I told you when no one was watching. The louder the noise becomes around you, the deeper you must root yourself in the quiet truths I whispered when it was just you and me. I will teach you how to hold joy in one hand and sorrow in the other, because your journey will carry both. You will laugh in seasons of harvest, but weep in the hidden places where no one sees the cost of obedience. Do not mistake your tears for weakness. They are seeds, and every drop will water the future I've already written with your name on it. You will walk through misunderstandings. People will question your motives, your path, your choices. Some will accuse you of pride simply because you no longer fit their mold. Do not retaliate. Let me defend you. Silence will often be your loudest testimony. I vindicate the humble. I honor those who refuse to fight battles that are beneath their calling. I am placing a weight of intercession upon you. It will feel like a burden, but it is actually a key. You will wake in the night with names on your lips. You will feel grief that does not belong to you. That is because I'm inviting you into my heart, to pray as I pray, to feel what I feel, to stand in the gap for those who do not yet have the strength to stand alone. In this season, I will not only teach you to speak with authority, I will teach you to rest in it. You do not need to strive to be powerful. Your power comes from abiding, from resting in me, from understanding that nothing you do can add or subtract from the anointing I've placed on you. Just remain, just stay close. That is enough.